On today's episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast, what a delight. We have Aloisa Ruf in studio, the daughter of Alois and Estonia Ruf. They were on our podcast a couple of years ago. And Aloisa really taking the reins of the family business, learning her way up all the way from the production line to the marketing to the social media. And we have an amazing conversation about her history in the company, some of the family's cars in their collection, what it's like to represent this brand, and some of the things she's been doing in California, as well as some of the amazing new products that Ruf has in the pipeline. So please be nice and welcome the wonderful and talented Aloisa Ruf to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Off the Record. We love Off the Record. They are here to help. If you get a ticket for anything, big, small, don't plead guilty. That is for suckers. You need Off the Record, and the Smoking Tire will get you there. Go to offtherecord.com/TST or download the Off the Record app and use code TST10. Off the Record will set you up with an attorney who will fight that ticket on your behalf. You don't need to go to court. You don't need to meet with prosecutors. You don't need to go to the cops. You don't need to do anything. Off the Record is here, and they will deal with it. And if they don't get those points off your record, money back guarantee. I love Off the Record, and you guys objectively love Off the Record. You tell me so in the DMs, in the emails all the time. So get it on your phone, get that account ready. That way, if you get pulled over, you know where to go and you know what to do. Their success rate is amazing. They can even reopen closed cases if you need to get points off of your record and renegotiate after the fact. Pretty amazing stuff. Offtherecord.com/TST or code TST10 in the Off the Record app. Yeah. Do you know the story of that car or anything? Just found it and bought it.
Oh, of my Boxster?
Yeah, the Boxster.
Oh,
no, not the DeLorean.
I was like, unfortunately, not yet. No, it was just a friend helped me find the car, and I was looking for a daily driver here.
Nice. It's a great LA daily, isn't it?
I know. It's perfect for the, parking lot that's a 405 sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
And it's also really fun to drive in the canyons.
Yeah. I've driven every 911 you can imagine, but I bought a Boxster too, because it's the best.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the best, but it's a fun car.
It's the best. Trust me. It's the best. Mine has a 4.5 liter engine in it.
Okay, that's why it's
monster.
the best. Okay,
you actually, why didn't I bring it? Aloisa and Alois, they would appreciate my stupid engine more so than many other people.
Hopefully not the last time we're here.
It's actually a very Ruf type car. It's got a huge naturally aspirated engine in a very little car. It goes really fast.
Yeah, sounds like something we would do.
But have you driven a Ford Mach-E before?
Yeah, but have you driven
the electric Ford SUV?
Ford?
No.
See? I rode my
a big
electric
engine
bicycle here today.
You rode a bicycle here?
Electric. I live very close.
Oh, okay.
And my electric bicycle goes 45 miles an hour.
Oh, okay.
It's so dangerous.
That's crazy. Please wear a helmet with that.
I should, and I don't. It's very dangerous. Are we good, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is now the show. Here you are. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. You guys had a good week, didn't you, up north?
Yes, up north.
Showed 2 new cars. Took home 2 trophies for your very, very old car.
Actually, we showed 3 new cars.
3 new cars?
Yes.
I forgot. There was the green car?
Yes, which is a tribute.
Yeah, that thing is crazy. Talk about that. Then there's the Speedster thing.
Yes, the Spider.
The Spider,
yeah,
sorry. Poor
Spider.
nomenclature. And then what's the third car?
The CTR3 Evo, which is the evolution of our CTR3 Club Sport.
Right. I did see that at the Quail, but I forgot that that actually has a brand new dual clutch gearbox in it now too. Finally, right? Because that car was super, super crazy.
Yeah.
But it could only work with the Tiptronic gearbox because of the torque, right? Isn't that what I heard?
Yeah.
So dual clutch is sort of the final
touch,
thing that it needed.
Yeah.
Which probably makes it quite good.
I think it's quite good.
Yeah, it's probably real crazy.
It is. 800 horsepower.
Yeah.
Horizontally opposed.
It's just insane.
6-cylinder, twin turbo, all the good stuff.
Yeah, and now here you are. We had your parents on the show at the old studio, and Alois actually just chilling in the lounge right now. He's like she gets to do radio. He literally was like, I'm on vacation. Go away. So as you kind of work your way right into the old family business, which is all right.
Yeah.
Is this? Let's go back to the beginning. Were you interested in this business when you were a kid? Did you understand the significance of it?
As a kid, you never really fully understand the significance of what your parents do.
Right.
And I like to say that I grew up in it very organically. The automotive love affair was always part of my life, and I always like to say that passion and love is contagious, and especially when it comes from people that you care about. So always being around my father and always being in the workshop, it was always something that was part of me. And it's a family business. As a kid, you're running around in the workshop with some tools and wrenches and having a good time and wanting to learn more. And then it became more serious and serious. You know, in my late teens, when I was in middle school and high school, I was actually working in a restoration department because that's something we're actually less famous for, but we restore old cars.
Yeah, that was
well.
like how it sort of started, and then it was like, hey, by the way,
so some of
put
my
600 horsepower in this car.
So some of my father's first employees are still around, and they were there when the cars were new, so they do the restoration to the fullest, and I got to work with them. And before moving to LA the past year, I started working on the production line in the CTR anniversary.
Oh, cool.
So
is that
fun.
something that you wanted to do, or did the old man say, look, if you wanna learn this business, you need to learn all the elements of the business?
He's never told me what to do and what not to do when it comes to the business, because he never wanted to push me into something. And especially it's a business where you have to be passionate about it, otherwise you're not going to succeed in it. And like in anything in life, if you do what you love, success is close.
Sure.
And it was always very organic, and I told him I want to wrench because I'm interested in doing it. And then he, of course, was absolutely supportive and said, okay, this is the best, because you need to understand how the cars work before even being able to.
Right. So what did you start by? What was like the first thing you were wrenching on?
356 convertible D.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's a pretty simple car.
It's a pretty simple car, and you have to learn the basics first before you go into the intricacies of super powerhouses that we create.
Well, yeah, there's obviously a level of detail that comes into the crazy cars that smaller margins of error.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could half fuck up a 356, they'll still get you home.
I'll try not to.
I've driven some bad ones like that. So, they will actually. You can run one of them things on one cylinder, it'll get you home. It won't be good, but
it's not about getting you home. It's about having the engine run perfectly.
I know, I'm joking, but it's a good practice car is what I'm saying, especially if you go back before they became ridiculously valuable.
Exactly. And then 2 years ago I restored the said 912 that I mentioned earlier to you. I did the full restoration of that myself.
Wow. And how long did that take?
It's still taking.
Still going?
Yeah, because you always find something new to wrench on and something new to fix, which is.
Is it a mechanical restoration or cosmetic or
both? No, cosmetic to the minimum. I love my patina.
Okay.
So I did the mechanical. I did some love work to the interior and make sure that the rust doesn't keep rusting away.
Yeah. Restored and upgraded?
No,
extra
not
power?
Upgraded. No.
Keep slow?
Yes. I wanted to keep it authentic and original.
Those are slow.
I know. But they don't feel slow. That's the art of it. They don't feel slow until you drive something else.
That's a good point. If it's the only car you ever drive, then it's just fine. Yeah. With context, slow.
Slow.
But there's some folks here in LA that can make them go pretty fast.
I know.
Have you visited any of those people?
Yes.
Benton?
No, not Benton.
He's the 912 guy. If you want a really fast 912, like he makes them go pretty fast. Yeah. 200 horsepower, and,
my God.
or Emery.
Yeah.
He doesn't do 912s, but his 4-cylinder engine is incredible.
Insane.
Yeah. Lovely. And then what did you do on the CTR 3 line? What you said? Did you say you worked on the CTR on production
the CTR
line?
Anniversary is the car we released in 2017, which was inspired by the Yellowbird from 1987.
Yes.
And that car started going into production or development to production in 2017, and we first showed it in 2017 for the 30-year.
That was when your parents came on the show. It was yellow. The original, the first one was yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, they brought it to us to show us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, it was that car.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They were making the rounds in LA.
Okay.
And that's the car that looks like a Porsche, but is definitely not a Porsche.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I have a really,
It's right there.
I have a, sometimes the letters and numbers, the CTR and the SCR, I have a hard time keeping them straight.
I understand.
Because I am stupid.
No.
But there's a way to decode them.
Yes.
What do the letters stand for?
They're quite simple. I mean, CTR means C-Class Turbo Roof.
Okay.
And
And
then,
SCR?
SCR comes from the SC.
Oh, right.
Roof,
Okay.
Because we created an SCR back in the 70s. And then
what are the other ones?
well, we have the CTR3, which
Yeah.
is the third generation.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, then you just add numbers to it.
We just
Right.
add numbers to them, but they all look quite different. So we have the CTR1, which is the original Yellowbird
Right.
nicknamed. Then you have the CTR2, the CTR3, CTR3 Club Sport, and Evo that we now release.
Yeah.
I mean, they just keep
And
adding
then there's
to
BTR.
them. Yes, B-Class Turbo Roof.
So what is the difference between B class and C class?
It comes from racing. So it comes from GT racing, and then you have the different classes that
Okay.
subsidize. Yeah.
So you have to be German, I think.
They're very, very German names.
They're very like very
Kind of
serious. It's Yellowbird is actually, I know that someone else came up with that.
Yeah.
A magazine writer.
Yeah, from Road and Track.
Yeah, an American, by the way, and I
Yes.
write for Road and Track. Americans, we do whimsical names. Hellcat. The Germans are like, no, this is a BTR, and it
Yeah.
yeah, it's very factual.
We title them and you make them more fun.
Right, yeah. But let's be honest, Yellowbird worked for you guys.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yellowbird
well.
is like, ooh, I need to know what that is.
Yeah.
I just bought, someone made a Yellowbird hot sauce that I just got.
How do you like it?
I haven't tried it yet. I haven't opened it
It's
yet.
one of my favorite hot sauces.
Phillips
Yeah.
Yellowbird. Is it good?
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, cool. Is he using the name with permission?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
It's good hot sauce, I think. Everyone keeps like, you should try this stuff. So
No,
I'm kind of
it's
excited.
pretty good.
Oh,
It's
don't they
pretty
have
good.
it at the cafe at the
At
Petersen?
the Myers-Manx Cafe.
The Myers-Manx
I
Cafe.
know. I was spoiled when I was working there.
Yeah.
It's just have phenomenal
Yeah,
food.
those guys are like, they're really getting on it. So you just had a really big week. I mean, you've got the new products, and you got your father's car took home multiple trophies, which is an amazing story.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the story of the Quickblau 901?
Absolutely. So Porsche released.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. That's, yeah, I got
And
my
we,
Instagram
and the
account.
audience sees what we see. So if
Oh,
you talk
okay.
about a photo, the video version of the podcast, it's a visual thing.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, right here it's on its glory, driving with the Ram, is the 1963 Quickblau, which is the oldest 911 prototype that is currently in existence, which is a prototype of the 901.
Yeah, it's like a prototype.
Of the prototype,
Yeah.
exactly.
Porsche people are like drooling. Prototype. Is it paint to sample?
Yeah, I guess so.
PCS
You could
silver.
say so.
It was
yeah.
probably painted with like a spray can, honestly.
That's actually Quickblau as its nickname, which could have come
Which
up-
is that the color?
No, it's enamel blue, and it's
Yeah.
an early 356 color
Oh,
that was
okay.
used on this car.
It's a nice color.
So in this car has a twin brother called the Barbarossa, and another. Well, actually, it's a pack of triplets. There's a Barbarossa, which was in signal red, the Quickblau, and another car called the Zitronenfalter, which is a very German name for translates to the yellow butterfly.
Oh.
All of these three prototypes were basically the first 911s in existence. The Barbarossa had a 2-instrument dashboard and had many, many other little details that very much are different than the production car that we all know and love. And the Quickblau is that's my father. And the Quickblau is the first 901 in its essence that actually made it into production the way it was shown. So it was a show car. Which
So it looks, you'd have to be a real nerd to look at this thing on the street and go,
And to
that
know.
is, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a beautiful old car,
Yeah.
but if to see it drive around, you wouldn't immediately go,
Oh, it's
that
a
is,
Quickblau. Yeah. Well, it was the first 911 or 901 that you could say with a 5-instrument dashboard, and it has a shrinkle finish. Finish. I always get those two mixed up in the dashboard. And you see, if you go back 2 photos, which is a selfie of my dad and I, or 3 photos maybe.
One more.
One more.
4 more photos.
This one. Here you can see that it has the early 356 Porsche emblem still. So it's all
Oh,
in
yeah.
the attention to details where they were bringing parts of the 356 into the 911 and trying to figure out how the final production car is going to be. Now, when this car was shown in 1963, it was shown hand in hand with the 904, which is quite impressive. And they kind of tucked this car away because Porsche wasn't sure if it's going to be a hit, because Porsche was only a 15-year-old brand. They were, very powerful with their 356s. What's going to be next?
Yeah.
So they showed this car with a wooden buck engine. So it never had an engine in itself that belonged to that car. Now, afterwards, it was owned by the Porsche family and by the Piech family, and partially driven also by the Metzger family. So it was always a family car, and they were all
the royalty of Porsche people, right?
And they were all test driving and engine testing and seeing if this is going to be the next production car. And after it was approved, the 901 went into production, and we all know the story with Peugeot, and it turned into the 911. However, this car had quite a little sad part to its story. It was supposed to be destroyed because it was a piece of metal without an engine. They couldn't sell it, and all of the bits and pieces were off, which, like any prototype, everything was made to measure, so no spare parts would fit. And my grandfather bought it in 1968 off of the factory because he saw the car, fell in love with the color, and asked for the price and said it's going to be destroyed, it's going to go to the junkyard. So he says, I'm taking this home to my son, and he's going to put a 912 engine in it because the six-cylinder is going to be too strong.
It's interesting that they allowed that. I mean, I don't think they didn't have the regulate. Now, like, I've tried to buy like pre-production cars before that I've tested. I was like, just give me this one. I just want, And they're like, absolutely not. It's super illegal. We can't do it. But back then it was like,
this was the 60s.
Yeah. No one cared. They just take it, and then it just became a car.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at the time when your father put a 912 engine in and was just driving it around, was it special or was it just a car?
It was very special to him. It was his first 911.
Right, but I mean the history of it. Besides it being a 911 and being his first 911, was there a significance of what it had done before? Did anyone care that it was a prototype? That's what I mean.
He didn't know. He just knew that something was off because every time he was fixing and working on it, the parts from the factory wouldn't fit, and he was wondering, what is this car? But he made it.
Porsche's QC really sucks. None of these parts fit.
So he actually changed the color of the car into a blue metallic. He wanted it to look like a 911S. You're in your 20s. You want it to be cooler than it is. And
the irony of like,
but he
painting
know.
over, of course, but it's just with age comes the wisdom of doing that kind of thing.
And he wanted to sell the car, and then the gentleman that was test driving the car totaled it, unfortunately.
On a test drive?
On the test drive. So the car was never sold, to our luck. And my father tucked it away, and he didn't have the time or the means to restore it. It was it was fully totaled. And he put it in the catacombs. And then 5 years ago, he found engine number 22, a 901 engine, and he said, I have a little something that I would like to bring back to life. So it's been in our family for 55 years.
I don't know if you just used this word, but you kind of glazed over it there. The catacombs?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like our
I know what a catacombs is, but like, how does that apply to you guys?
No, like in our archives.
Okay.
In our
so you have a shed somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, as one does.
As one does.
Yeah. And how long did it sit in the shed for?
Well, we had the car for 55 years, so around 40 years.
Yeah. All right. That's patience.
Yeah, it's patience.
Just waiting for a 901 engine. Is there any real difference between a 901 engine and a 911 engine besides the stamping?
Besides the number? No, well, you have some different little bits and pieces that you could geek out on, but
fundamentally
same
deal. Yeah. And then you have to obviously remake the parts because the factory stuff doesn't fit.
Yes, and the people that I mentioned to you earlier, one of my father's first employees, who I see him as uncle, they're the same age, he basically worked on restoring the car, so we restored it fully in-house, just fitting for the 60-year 9/11 anniversary.
How long did the restoration take?
3 years.
And now you have trophies.
So
you did a good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
And is the restoration business still an important part of the roof business?
It's more something that everything we do is out of passion, but that's just for our little geek hearts to have fun with it and to bring cars back to life that we care.
Sure. I imagine you've driven this car.
I have.
Is it lovely?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just the classic sound of a 911. I grew up sitting in the back of it, so it just feels like home.
Yeah. I saw you guys on the tour. You were having a good time.
Yeah, you saw us.
Yeah,
Waving like the
your mom,
president.
your mom like definitely saw. I was leaning way in on the inside of a curve in Big Sur, and you guys seemed like you were having a really good time.
Yeah, we were having a lot of fun.
It's an amazing story for that car, and like you said, it's the oldest 911 of any kind in existence,
Yes.
right? How many were made? Do you know how many were made before that are not in existence?
Well, like I said, this is a pack of triplets. So you have
So the other two accounted for?
So the Barbarossa still exists.
Okay.
That's chassis number 7. Ours is chassis number 6.
Oh.
And chassis number 7 lives in Pennsylvania.
And what about 1 through 5? Gone?
Nobody knows.
Lost in the ether?
Lost in the ether.
That's an amazing story. That's really, really cool.
Thank
Look at that,
you.
4 up in that thing.
Yeah, look at us. We're tears of happiness.
Your poor mom. You got shotgun there? Your mom's stuck in the back?
It's a family car.
Who's the 4th person in that?
That's my sister.
Oh, that's your sister.
That's
great.
my sister.
And you guys had to drive it across the stage at the concourse.
It's the first time that car even touched American grounds.
Oh,
Never
really?
made it to America. Yeah.
That's a put it on an airplane kind of car.
That's put it on an airplane kind of
We don't
car.
put that on a boat. That's straight airplane. How lovely. And did you get to drive it much before Pebble Beach, or was it pretty much like
yes.
finish it and get it over here?
No. We drove it. We drove it on Sunday drives. When the car finished its restoration, my dad took it everywhere, and he was taking everywhere. He's like, "Look, this is the car." My
That's
first
fantastic.
911. And we actually also won the Concours of Elegance in Les Como. That's that car.
So you're extra trophies.
Yes.
So many trophies.
So many trophies.
That's great.
It's the first time for us to participate in any of these events as competitors.
Well,
Which is
I
a
would
big
say
deal
that
for
was a
us.
good return on your investment
Yes.
for restoring the car. I think you've done well there. You think that's going to drive restoration business?
We didn't do it to drive restoration business.
but
it might.
it doesn't mean it's not.
might. But yeah, this is just a personal luxury that we decided to invest in to bring this back.
And I mean,
back to
now
life.
it seems like some of your the company's earlier builds, the cars that were done in the 80s, are now old enough that they might be coming back for restoration and refurbishing as well, right?
That's true, yeah.
Can you guys build me, if I wanted one, a new old car?
A new old car. Elaborate.
Like if I wanted a CTR,
yes.
and I sent you a G-body car, could you build me one from that, or
Unfortunately, no.
No, okay.
No. It's 29 CTR ones.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, but if I sent you, okay, that's a specific example.
Okay.
But do you guys have a package where if I sent you a 930 or something that you could do upgrades
Not for
and stuff?
930s right now. We have the RCT package, which is one of my personal favorite cars.
Which is what?
Which is based on a body in white 964. Sorry,
Oh,
I was
okay.
stuttering. Yeah.
Okay. And is
So
that a
we do that.
turbocharged or naturally aspirated car?
Single turbocharged.
Single turbocharged.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so much
that's
fun.
probably rowdy.
Yes, very. Yeah. And then we have the Turbo R, which is the 993 base.
Those are my personal favorite just because the look is so spectacular.
Thank you.
I drove Bruce's Yellowbird.
Yeah.
Which was unbelievable. I mean, it was so different from a 930. And I actually just got to have a real go in a 959, and it was close to that.
I mean, it wasn't based on a 930. It was based on a Carrera 3.2 liter.
But just with that, that powertrain is so much different than what Porsche was doing at the time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
the Yellowbird is the first twin turbocharged 911 in history.
Yeah.
We beat Porsche to the punch with that car.
It's totally different. It sounds different. It feels different.
Yeah.
And the power delivery is insane. It's so fast. What a delightful machine.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
But the 993 is fucking sexy. That's a great car.
Yeah.
That gray one that Bruce Canepa has is
I know.
it's fabulous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What's your favorite from the catalog? Folks, I got to take a quick break from the action for Factor. I love Factor because I don't eat until it's too late. And the reason I don't do that is because I don't make time for myself to eat. And then what happens? I eat bad food, I overeat, I get off my diet, I do things I shouldn't do because I am starving because I didn't make the time. But time is one thing that Factor can save. It's America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. They can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. I love these Factor meals. They're a great complement to a busy day. I wish I had one today. I wouldn't feel so frantic, but I ran out of Factor. We ate it all. They haven't sent me more yet. If you're too busy this fall to cook, but you want to make sure you're eating well, with Factor, you can skip the extra trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, the prepping, and the cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and the nutritional quality that you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. All you have to do is heat up and enjoy, and then get back to crushing those goals. If you're looking for calorie-conscious options during the busy season, try delicious dietitian-approved calorie smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. If you need an extra boost to support your wellness goals and feel your best, try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. Get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Get over to factormeals.com/tire50. That's factormeals.com/tire50, and then use code tire50 to get 50% off. Code tire50 at factormeals.com/tire50 to get 50% off. Folks, we're also brought to you today by Game Time. That's gametime.co. If you are trying to buy tickets to a favorite event, maybe you want to surprise your significant other, your partner, maybe you want to surprise your kid for their birthday, maybe you want to surprise your dad for Father's Day. When is Father's Day? It's after Father's Day. Forget Father's Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Christmas. Whatever it is, that process shouldn't be stressful. Game Time. It's the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and getting hyped for the fun you have. I've talked over and over about how I used Game Time to buy some courtside WNBA tickets for my wife, and we had a great time. She loved it. Taylor Swift, that's in the news. I can just say it for the SEO. Taylor Swift. Metallica just sold out SoFi here. I'm going to that Power Up Festival out in Palm Springs. It's going to be awesome. Game Time's got flash deals and last-minute tickets. It's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event. You can even see the view from the seats, right, using that Game Time app. And, of course, they've got the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, and job loss protection. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason, and I've just listed them off. You can buy tickets in a matter of seconds. It's just 2 taps and you're set. The tickets are sent right to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email. Get those tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, or use code SMOKINGTIRE for $20 off your first purchase. Get the app or go to gametime.co, not .com, .co. Some terms apply. Create an account and redeem code SMOKINGTIRE for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And now back to the show.
Oh, that's always hard.
I know.
That's always very
that's why
difficult
we
to
ask the hard hitting.
Well, I do love the CTR anniversary. Just, I got to be part of the whole development of the cars. It's also very personal, but it also just so much fun. Back in the day, we came onto the map with the world's fastest car, and now horsepowers are horsepowers. It's all about the driving experience and how drivable a car is. Like, can you have fun with it on track? Can you have fun with it in canyons? But can you also drive in traffic? Mm-hmm. Because for us, it's really important to take all these boxes, and the CTR anniversary, it doesn't fight you when you're driving. It's a synergy, and you feel you're controlling the car isn't driving you, you're driving it.
And
and then when the turbo whistles, just
as
that's
manufacturers move towards dual clutch and automated gearboxes, and then electric cars and such, does that leave that hole open for people like you guys to give lightweight stick shift, really analog driving experiences?
Yeah, we keep that alive in our own way.
Yeah. What is your obviously you were just here in Los Angeles doing a gig at the Petersen, which is fun, gives you some LA experience, which everybody should have. But when you're back home, what does your day look like at the company?
What does my day look like?
Yeah.
Every day is absolutely different. So my official title is public relations, marketing, and I basically do all the merchandise work for the company. However, it's always, I try to work 2 days a week in the production line, like as a mechanic, and be part of creating the cars, just because I have so much fun doing it and I learn so much every day, because it's always an endless journey and always an endless way of troubleshooting and trying to find solutions, and it's a lot of fun. But I also help customers spec out cars. I also attend customers when they come visit, so it's a whole...
What does that production line look like? You guys are a very small volume company, so how
Yes.
many cars are being built at a time on the line?
Around 10.
Oh, that's
10
more than I
cars.
would have thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are there's stations? The
Yes.
car goes from station to
Yes,
station?
from station to station.
So what is your position on the line when you dive in? Do you
It
try them all, or-
absolutely depends. So actually, before I moved to LA, I was just doing some brake work,
Okay.
putting in the brake calipers, and also some air conditioning work, because I do not know much about how air conditioning works. So I was trying to dive into
science.
that.
Yeah.
So
You guys using fully electric air conditionings now?
Yeah, we
That's
are.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really nice.
doesn't
But
suck
I
the
have so
power
much
out
to
of you.
learn out of that, because when
Just-
it comes to electrical work, I'm still learning.
It's confusing stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. That's really neat. And then
Thank you.
and then with the merchandising stuff, I actually really liked the watch.
Thank you.
That was I have a real thing with car and watch collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they're terrible. Like usually they're just, whether it's the Breitling and Bentley one or the Lamborghini and Roger, like they're just heinous looking. Like I just hate them all. Porsche design, pretty good, but also a different sort of thing. But when I saw the one that you guys did with Tag, and I actually called Corey at Con, and I was like, hey man, can I get one of those? And I did not get an allocation.
Oh, no.
They were sold out. But yeah, grab a photo of
that's
it
so
with Bamford. And I thought this was a really nice looking Tag Carrera.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple, just the yellow details, the Ruf logo, which I thought was very nice on a good strap. I've always been looking for an excuse for a Carrera because I love the design of the watch. I thought this went well. This was a very good one.
Thank you.
Is
Yeah.
this you?
Yeah, I was working together with George Bamford to create this watch, and
He seems
unfortunately,
fun.
He's so wonderful.
He seems
He's so
like
lovely.
fun. I've never met him, but I would like to. He seems like a
I'd be more than happy to make the introduction. Well, the wristband, so it comes with a leather wristband, but we also created one that is made out of the same fabric as the overalls that our mechanics wear.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is really a
That's
fun
cool.
little detail. And also the back of, I don't know if there's
Is there
more
a
pictures.
rear
of it.
shot?
Oh, there you go. It looks like our roof rim.
Yeah. It's the key for me for a watch car collaboration is you have to be able to appreciate it if you know nothing about the car.
I agree.
Right? Other than if it doesn't stand on its own aesthetically, then it's kind of a failure.
Beautiful green.
Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Is it green or is it yellow?
It's green.
Well, it's green, and then the roof part is yellow.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about I'm colorblind,
Oh,
so
okay.
forgive me, but I actually cannot see the green of the dial. I thought it was black.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
that's
So
welcome to
the
colorblindness.
dial
people.
is like, I was going to say it's roof green, but if you can't see the roof green,
You know what's
then-
actually funny is now that you have put that in my head, I can see it. It recalibrates your brain that way. Colorblindness is strange.
Interesting.
It is
Okay.
a deeply inconsistent thing, and you can talk your brain into seeing the right thing if someone tells you. It's crazy.
But you can see greens in general.
I can, but if it's all about like what the background color is and like in the context of it, like the easiest way to describe it is camouflage works on me. If you're in the woods and you're wearing camouflage, I can't see you.
Okay.
But then if someone goes, that's the person, and you wave, then I can see you. Like
Oh, okay,
once
that
you,
makes sense.
so like that looks right there against the black background in this photo. That dial looks pretty much black or gray to me. But then again, in the other photo, when Zach all of a sudden said green, and I all of a sudden saw it when I was told it was there. Weird,
Interesting.
right? Yeah, weird. It's why I don't dress very well. I don't take because I don't take a lot of risks with my outfits. Can I ask about one of the most interesting and controversial cars you guys have built? It's called the Rodeo,
Of course. Ask
and
away.
it looks like a double RL store just collapsed on top of a Porsche.
Yeah.
Is that Ralph Lauren's car?
No.
Okay,
It
because
isn't
Ralph Lauren,
Lauren's
he's a
car.
family friend, and I know he's a diehard Ruf customer.
Yeah, he is.
He has
he
a bunch
is.
of your older models,
He does.
which are really interesting, and they're all blacked out. Everything's blacked out.
Oh, he also
But
has a CTR3.
he does have a
Cosworth, which is
CTR3.
silver.
Yeah. Does he still have that car? I don't know. I
Yeah.
hadn't seen it in a while. But this is your take on a safari type car. You look at this photo of the interior.
That's not the car.
That's not, is it? That's
No,
not
the-
one.
Our interior.
That's
is
it.
cra-
The outside, it's real crazy. There's a lot going on. There's
know.
like leather on the outside.
It's not a safari car. It's a rodeo car. So I can tell you the backstory.
Okay,
of
please
that.
tell me the
So
story of the rodeo.
This is my mother's vision brought to life. She used to live in Oklahoma and in Texas and in Kansas. And this was during a time where safari cars were being hyped up again and everybody wanted a safari car. My mom says, let's make a rodeo car. Let's do the Houston rodeo car. And that's why we were inspired in the design for the, with this Western flair. And that explains also a lot of leather. And you also wanted to be able to drive it on your ranch.
Yeah.
And so
it's
that
like
was
real
the-
cowboy stuff.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what we wanted, and that's what we wanted to create. I hope you find a photo of the interior because I do love
The interior is like insane.
yeah,
That
and it also for us it was a show car, and it was there you go, and it was important for us to show.
the bottom right. That's with like the Mexican blanket.
Mm-hmm.
I love this fabric. I love Mexican blanket style interiors. It's just it's the coolest.
What is this, a die cast? I think.
It is, but it's
It's a
accurate. I
die-cast.
think
No, unfortunately, it's there. You put that picture. Yeah.
that's the real car.
And a little bit to the left, you can see because the leather is coming out quite orangey. Yeah. So
it's
the
like,
leather
it's got
is
like
very.
King Ranch kind of leather, like real
Yeah.
saddly leather.
That's
Yeah.
what we wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to achieve, and
So
it was
is
also.
that your mother's car, or did
It's
somebody
not
buy
her
that?
car. No. It's just in our collection for now. We are planning to go into production with this car.
Oh,
and then
really?
we have the horse. Yeah, absolutely. It's something very different, and it also shows the essence of Ruf, which is there's never a no.
Right.
And we can do anything that we want to, especially when it comes to design and looks. And it's good to have a little controversial work sometimes.
The leather wrapped brush bar on the front is aggressive. I don't know. Does that hold? What happens if you drive in the rain? Is that going to hold
No,
up?
that's what happens when you hit a cow at 200 miles per hour. The leather wraps around
It
the
just
bar.
becomes
Yeah,
part of
it
the
was a
part of the
metal
car.
bar.
I do like the little leather straps that hold the fog light covers on. Those
Yeah.
are very
Yeah, it's
kind
cool.
of cool.
Very classy.
And the shovel on the back is a fun touch. It's just like it's so different from what I've seen from anything else, about Ruf, which is like real serious speed stuff and not a ton of call it whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys showed this and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like what is going on with this thing? It's insane. But more Mexican blanket interiors, please.
Yes, I agree.
Please.
I agree. No, we just had fun with it. It was just to show what we can do.
Is it all-wheel
Paint-wise,
drive?
color-wise, yes.
It is all-wheel
It's
drive.
all-wheel drive.
Yeah. I had a safari car.
Yeah.
One of Lee Keen's safari
Oh, okay,
cars.
that's cool.
And it was so fun. Like off-road Porsches are so
So
fun.
much fun,
Have you driven like Porsche rally car before?
Not yet. I'm
you
dying
must.
to.
You
I'm
must.
dying to. Yeah.
Maybe you do the below zero ice driving with Richard Tuttle, which is supposed to be amazing, or any of Porsches are so great at loose surface. Like
Yeah.
they slide so easily. And all that crazy like Widowmaker stuff that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
On a loose surface that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's no snapback. It's just And
It's a lot of fun. I drove the ice race, the GP ice race.
Oh, you did?
Now called Fat Mankai.
What's it called?
Fat Mankai, coming from FAT.
Oh.
They rebranded.
Renamed it?
Yeah.
GP Ice Race was better, I think. But what did you drive in it?
The Yellowbird and the RCT.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Oh, that's a good time.
So much
Did
fun.
they put special tires on it for you?
Yes, we put spoke tires.
Yeah, spikes.
Spiked
Yeah.
tires, yes.
That was probably a good
It's an
time.
old, I think I posted an old reel. But that's not the car that was mine, but I lent it from a friend. It was a while ago.
It's nice when people let you
Here,
borrow
yeah, here you can
Yellowbirds.
see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be so
Wow,
fun.
that'd be rad with spiked tires.
fun.
That would be a great time. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got,
Nice helmet.
thank you.
You can go ride a horse after you're done with the driving that.
Myers Manx was also there.
The Myers-Manx towing a skier. That did they have a race, a towing a skier races?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Here has
This
in the
seems like a lot of
T57.
fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
so
like
much fun.
Type 30. Is this a Bugatti Type 35? Looks like it. Yeah, like pre-war on ice, I think on narrow studded
Yeah.
tires would be.
Look at us.
Look at this guy.
Great. What a great day.
I would like to
know.
be anyone in that photo.
Yeah.
The driver, the passenger, the skier, you name it. Like, count me in.
Yeah,
That would be
it's a lot of
so
fun.
rad. That's cool. So I mean, outside of something that's built at your factory, what is your end game dream car? What are you when you
End game
you
dream.
get all the money? What are you doing with it? You gonna
Like
build
a driver
something,
D
buy
type.
something, a D type.
Yes.
A woman of taste.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
E-Type, I mean, the E-Type is a beautiful car, and I think design-wise it's beautiful.
Not compared to a D type.
But then you look at exactly
Compared to a
because
D
people
type, an E
always,
type is like, pfft, come on.
I know. And yeah, that's probably one of the first cars. The second car I'd get. The first car is the first. Again, 901. My father had a body blue 901 when I was growing up, and that was the first car I was taken to school in. Had our Sundays, and unfortunately we had to sell it around 10 years ago. But that
Hopefully
would be a different
hopefully
car.
for good money at least. And you have another 901. It's not
Exactly.
Like, it's
No,
not
but
like,
you know that one that you grew
yeah,
up in.
Of course.
Like, so I'd want to have that back in the collection.
Yeah. Guys, I got to take a quick break from the action for Prize Picks. It's the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America with the easiest, most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 players' stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports apps. Prize Picks offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. And Prize Picks is now offering Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account. This for $100. One more time, that's prizepicks.com/tire and use code TIRE for a first deposit match up to $100. Daily fantasy sports are made easy with Prize Picks. Now back to the show. So it's some people are really they really seek those cars that they grew up in. I want the cars that I had on the wall when I was a kid.
Yes.
Maybe it's because my dad didn't have cars that were that cool. I don't covet my father's Saab. I don't,
Saab?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a Saab is? A Swedish car?
Oh, Saab. Oh,
Yeah.
S-A-A-B.
No, not his tears.
I'm sorry,
Yes, I covet my father's tears. No, his Saab 900 Turbo from 1987. That's what I'm talking about. I was like, you must have heard of a Saab.
No, of course.
Yeah. No, I don't care
Sounded
about
like
it.
an O.
That car's gone and is not coming back, and that's
Okay.
fine. But the car's from the poster.
The car's
Like you
from
saw
the
my little
posters.
black Ferrari downstairs. That's
Beautiful.
That's it for me.
Beautiful.
Slow stick shift. Makes a great sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about your art show that you just had?
Absolutely. Yes.
It's photography and
collage
cars.
work.
And what else? There was
Merchandise.
and roof merchandise.
Yeah.
Is it still up? Can people still go?
Unfortunately, no.
One night only?
One night only.
What?
I haven't posted anything about it. I was
No,
going to
but
do that today.
the Period Correct guys did.
Yeah,
If you want to
yeah.
go to the Period Correct Instagram, they have a very strong merch business. The
They
Period
do,
Correct
and
guys
it's
do.
really, really high
It is
quality.
all right, and they posted about it. So there's some photos from the the other night.
Show, yeah.
Are you? Tell me about your photography hobby.
Hobby.
Hobby, is that the wrong word?
No. It's the perfect word.
Okay.
It's the perfect word. I started with photography ever since I had a camera for the first time in my hand, and I always love to capture moments and love to capture the essence of life and hold on to things, because I think we all get caught up in how fast-paced life can be. And then I used to do mostly fashion photography and portrait photography, and then COVID came, and I used to live in Paris, and then COVID came and I moved back home, and I had no interaction with people anymore because they used to be my subjects. I love to capture characters and faces and expressions. And then I moved back to Germany, and my life just became 200% more cars, because that's what I was doing. I was just in the workshop, and there's so much passion and love with the automobile and also in the environment that I find myself in, that I always wanted to synergetically connect both of the worlds. The passion for cars, but also for the aesthetics and the beauty and the holding on to moments. So this art show was called Initium, which is a Latin word to initiate in the beginning, which is quite a funny double entendre, because it's my first of many art shows, hopefully, but also to initiate, like the ignition from a car, like to start going. And here on the image on the left, you can see I'd have some workshop photographs that I took of the mechanics in action, full body, last minute, trying to find and troubleshoot and trying to find the solution to. This is actually a picture that was taken in the developing phases of the CTR. So that was really important for me to have, but also just nature shots. And my collage work is also trying to bring those two worlds together of the portrait photography with cars. And
as the person who's, responsible for merchandising and all that kind of stuff, there's a very real need for that in the company as well, the artistic touch. I see it's all black and white. Are you shooting film?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
What's your film choice?
My film choice?
What kind of film do you like?
Kodak.
Kodak?
Yeah.
Portrait?
Yeah, I like portrait, but I also like the just classic 35 millimeter.
Have you ever played with medium or large format?
Not yet.
I can't recommend it
I
highly
bought
enough.
myself a half-frame camera just to have fun with it. I still have to shoot large format and medium.
Large format I was a photography major in college.
Oh, okay.
And large format is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, a negative, that's
And that
8
size,
by 10 is, it's
the way
incredible.
you can blow it up.
Yeah, you're, for those prints like you're showing your show, you're only blowing it up 4 times.
Yeah.
So the depth and the sharpness is just, it's
Maybe
beyond.
for my next show.
Yeah, try it.
I
should.
should.
It might be tough because it seemed like when I was looking through your work that you kind of like that's a beautiful. Is that you?
Thank you.
Did you shoot that?
Yeah.
Oh, the Pininfarina Modulo and the Lancia Stratos Zero.
Yeah.
That's a
I was
beautiful
at my
shot.
show.
You'll have to
Thank
send
you.
me a print of that. I really like that one. Signed, of course. But it's hard to do candids with large format because it takes like 5 minutes to set up a shot.
That's why I was always shied away, because for me,
Sure.
I don't like posed photos and like this gentleman.
Yeah, no, you're not shooting that with a 4x5
No,
or an
you
8x10.
can't.
But you could, like you can get handhelds with a medium format, and really, medium format's fun. If you like 35, medium format's not so big. You can still handhold it.
Okay.
I recommend trying it
Okay, I'll
if you
have fun
haven't
with
had a go yet. What is your 35 millimeter camera?
An M6.
Okay,
An M6.
that's a lovely
Leica.
camera.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
make a quality
complain.
piece of hardware.
Yeah.
And you're very.
And it looks like a jewelry item.
does.
I love it.
It does. It's real easy to get off the deep end with the camera stuff. I've tried to resist it. I still have my old Pentax from the 1980s.
Really?
Yeah, and I just had it refurbished, and I shoot with that.
Oh, wonderful.
My 35, but I regret selling my medium format camera. I should have kept it.
I can tell that you really enjoyed shooting.
I loved it.
You can always get a new one.
I could, but maybe one day I'll treat myself.
Yeah.
It's God. I do miss it, but you have to like really make the time, especially for film.
I agree.
It's a commitment.
I agree. I always double shoot. I have film and my digital with me.
Oh, you do both?
It's like back in the day you had the Polaroids.
Have you played with Polaroids? They're fun.
I have. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. That company, who thought they were going to make a comeback? That's crazy,
I
right?
mean, yeah, everybody likes to have something that you can hold on to
Yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah. Do you get any when you were at the Petersen Museum? What kind of What kind of things were you working on there?
So I was working in their marketing department. So I was working a lot in their event organization and, again, communication. So I did a lot of their invitations. And, for instance, for the Porsche 75th, We Are Porsche that they have, the exhibit that they have right now.
It's still up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good exhibit. I saw it. I went to the
cool.
30th Boxster anniversary thing.
So I organized that. I was on the panel.
Very nice job.
For that. Thank you.
I won a
Wins the
trophy
car.
there. I won People's Choice.
You won People's Choice.
I won People's Choice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I felt very good about that. Not People's Choice. No, it was Kids' Choice.
Even better.
Which is even better.
Even
if you've got a
better.
sports car, like, who are we targeting here, right?
Yeah, so those types of events,
It's a good exhibit. I recommend everyone go
wonderful.
see it. It's really good. Did you ever go to the Petersen before they redid it?
Before they redid it.
Before they redid
no.
it, yeah.
My first time at the Petersen was, I think, 2015 or 14.
Oh, it was before they redid it. Look, it wasn't bad, but it was like definitely old. You know,
Very
it looked
different.
like the rest of the car museums. You know,
I've
were
seen photographs.
just old school, really old
Yeah.
school, and they've really brought it up to the standard of, like you would get at Porsche's museum in Leipzig or in Stuttgart or
Yeah.
you know those really nicely done ones.
The Petersen is a very special place.
Yeah, they give you any seat time and anything?
Seat time?
Yeah, let you drive anything?
Oh, seat time. I
Seat
like
time.
that.
Yeah.
No, but I had fun.
All right. And so what are you going to do with this Boxster you showed up in? You
Yeah.
bought it as a commuter, sending it home. Are we going to leave it alone or are we going to put some prototype crazy motor in it?
Maybe. I don't know yet. I just wanted to take it home, keep driving it, and then maybe turn it into 3800S, which is a Boxster that we did.
Which is what, a 911 3.8 engine
Yeah.
in there pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
That'll be fun.
That'd be fun. So I'm
Yeah.
playing with the idea of doing something like that or keeping it all original.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a sweet car that I've had here.
Naturally aspirated or turbocharging? What do you prefer?
It depends on the car. Are you speaking of the Boxster now?
Just no, for just your personal taste.
I love turbocharged and the whistles just always get me. But there's just some rawness to naturally aspirated cars like the SCR that we have. It just both.
Can we talk about the new air-cooled car?
Yes, we can.
Which is crazy. I saw it at the Quail. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
But the engineering behind it is pretty insane. So give us the rundown of this car.
Yeah, so the car that you saw at the Quail, I just want to say, is not the final design it's going to be.
Oh.
So that car is basically the mule for the engine.
Okay.
So we were able to bring it and run it and do the stress testing on the car. So it's going to have a different final design.
Okay.
The engine, it's a 4-cam 3-valve air-cooled engine.
Which, has anyone done
No.
that before?
No.
Singer's engine, the DLS engine, is 4-cam, but
Yes.
it's not 3-valve,
No,
right?
it's 4-valve.
Okay. So what is the significance of 3 valves versus 4 valves?
3-valve, when you look at the engineering aspect, let's go back in history, why the air-cooled was discontinued was because it is quite expensive in production.
The most expensive dollars per horsepower gain of
Truly.
any engine in history.
Truly,
Yeah.
yes. And B, because when it comes to high speeds, there's a lot of heat nests where it's quite easy to water cool a car in the cooling system. And for us, we developed the 3-valve engine, so we have less of these heat nests at high stress levels.
Okay. So it's basically just it's an air-cooled engine that cools itself better,
Yes.
more or less,
Yeah,
right?
it cools itself better, which allows it to perform better.
And it's turbocharged.
Yes.
Twin turbocharged.
Twin turbocharged.
Okay.
Yes, 550 air-cooled powers.
That's pretty good amount.
That's pretty
all
good.
right. Yeah, that's all right.
Especially in the body that it's going to have is a 1,000-kilogram body.
Well, that'll
And that's
be a
where I was
ride.
going to earlier, when it's not particularly about the horsepower anymore. It's also about the weight to horsepower ratio.
1,000 kilograms in a modern car is not very much. So
Not at all.
I imagine extensive carbon fiber use.
Our own carbon fiber monocoque
Right.
with the integrated steel roll cage, double wishbone suspension.
And that's going to be rear-wheel drive. That can't
Yes,
be. Yeah,
yes,
you
it
can't
is.
do all-wheel drive
No,
with that weight.
no. It has
right.
to be rear-wheel
yeah.
drive.
That's going to be and stick shift.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's going to be insane.
I'm so excited about it.
But it's in the same family as the the car that you showed, right? It's not like it's a different design, but it's not like some like wild,
The design,
clean sheet design, right?
No. So the design of the car, the body that the engine was in this year at the Quail is the CTR anniversary body, which again we use as a mule because we're still in the design process. But it was important for us to show that we created this engine, celebrating the 60 years of the 911.
But is the new car going to be in the CTR anniversary family, or are we talking about a complete...
I can't say.
Oh, secrets.
Oh, there you can hear.
I heard. Is there sound on that, Zach?
Yeah.
We heard it. We heard it run. It's smooth.
It's very, very smooth.
It's very smooth.
What I love about it is that you can see everything. It's very...
Sounds nice.
yeah.
And it's what, a 3.6 or 3.8? 3.6? 3.8 liter twin
3.8
turbo, yeah. Sounds smooth. Sounds nice.
Excites me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds very nice. That's
Yeah.
exciting. That's really cool.
Thank you.
And the regular the CTR anniversary
Yes.
is a water cooled engine,
Yes,
right? Yeah. Okay.
water-cooled.
So we're talking about a car that's been in production for a few years as a water cooled car.
Yes.
Now has a cool air cooled
Yes.
engine. Yeah. And it's a very pretty car. I like how those cars look like a
Oh, you
911
can see
until you park one next to a 911, and then they all of a sudden.
That was the idea. We
really
wanted to
don't
keep
look
the soul of the 911 alive and the charm. When you see a 911, it's a wolf in sheep's skin.
Yeah. These are
car
real
is-
crazy though.
Thank you. Complete redesign.
I like the rear treatment of it is very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lovely little car. Very, very nice.
I love this green as well. Olive green diamond metallic. It's a very long name, but it's a
Olive green diamond metallic.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a 2.2 liter.
That is a beautiful color, and it works great with the gold wheels and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm a big fan of the gold wheels. The gold wheels work. Zach, do we have anything on the Patreon?
Indeed.
We've got some questions from our fans. Of course, if you want to ask questions of our guests
Oh,
for
are
the
we
show,
live right now?
we are.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yes,
I
we
thought
are
this
only
was
for the
filmed.
patrons.
Oh, cool.
And then everyone else gets to wait.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to pay the cost to be the boss, and the patrons also get to ask questions. So we can get to some of those. Retrofit says, why build a, quote, 911 with 0 Porsche parts? Why not explore a unique shape? I think the question is, why does the CTR anniversary resemble a 911 at all?
I like to say that our family business, we are the biggest Porsche fans. And we love the 911. And everything we do is a celebration of that car and a celebration of the brand. However, Porsche is an OEM. It's a big, big company. And a lot of the classic essence that we have fallen in love with, which is mostly the older cars, we wanted to keep that alive with modern technology, with modern racing features. And that's why we stay true to that 911 essence, because you want to have the spirit, but it's still its own car, which is what we were looking at.
That's a good answer. It also, like, by having a car, I mean, I'm just taking a swing at this because I'm not in your company, but the target customer for that car is someone who already loves 911s.
Yes.
And probably already has one or several 911s.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're seeking a 911 experience that Porsche isn't selling anymore. Versus if you did some clean sheet design. I mean, we were just at the Quail. How many people are doing crazy ass clean sheet designs?
Mm-hmm.
And only some of them are successful, and that's a hard road to separate yourself from everybody else.
I mean, we have played with different designs like the CTR Evo,
Yeah.
the CTR 3 Evo that we released.
That's
Has still some of the essence of Porsche.
yeah.
But it's
That
a
gets the
complete
furthest
redesign.
away from
Yes.
Porsche that you guys have done. Yeah. I get it. Michael Cosgrove says, Aloisa, imagine one day you had twins that grew up in the family business and were equally passionate about all the things that Ruf does. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But one of them decided they wanted to practice that passion on a brand other than Porsche. We could have just done the last sentence. What other brand would you pick for the Ruf treatment?
I like the storytelling of
Yeah,
this
they
question.
always give you a little backstory.
That's a really fantastic question. I mean, Ruf in itself, we are moving more and more towards independence by creating that car in 2017 that's completely made in-house and completely developed in-house. I think we're just going more in the direction of bringing the Ruf essence in and whatever story that may be. So we do not know where future designs are going to take us, and I don't know if in the future, I mean, I guess this is assuming when I have children.
Well, forget the children part.
Yeah.
If you were gonna, what car, if there's another car out there that you think is deserving of the things that your company brings to the table, what might that be?
I can't think of anything else.
Pure
besides
Porsche.
Pure Porsche.
Pure Porsche.
Yeah.
Miguel says, thoughts on the crazy new Singer we saw at Pebble. The funny thing about Pebble, Zach and I went to the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Oh, nice.
And so a lot of the product unveilings that happened at Pebble also happened at Goodwood.
Oh, okay.
And most people don't go to both unless you're like in the business and have to go to both. And so the new things that we saw them a lot before. So there's sort of there's a little diminished impact a bit. But I think he means the Singer DLS Turbo. Did you see that thing?
I actually didn't see it.
It's pretty cool.
Is it cool?
It's pretty cool.
I have to
yeah.
take a closer look.
It's crazy.
I mean, the DLS in itself, I think it's wonderful that they're working together with Williams.
Yeah.
And they
That's
have
all
great
right.
engineers behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the DLS.
Oh, yes, I
that
saw
thing,
this in photo.
Yeah, DLS Turbo.
That's crazy.
So what's the most interesting thing to me, and me and Zach talked about this, is that it's a 934 from the front and a 935 from the back.
Yeah.
And so depending on which angle you look at it, it can look like two different cars, which not everybody loves. But I kind of get why they did that as opposed to doing a slant nose.
That's interesting.
Right.
Nose.
So, and also they had two. They had this orange one and they had the gold one. I think the
photos of
orange
that
looked
one.
better than the gold. The gold didn't really work for me. But these things are nuts. They're $3 million,
Crazy.
and they're going to sell every single one they can build. So it's So from the front and from the back, it kind of looks like two different things.
Yeah.
But still, it's rad. It's super cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, $3 million. It's money well spent. Joe says, is there any tuned Porsche more iconic than the Yellowbird? I would have to say no.
No.
Unless you want to call, maybe you could call like the Kramer K3s.
That's awesome.
Those 935 based street cars.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, I think
Those
that's...
didn't go viral. Like
No, that's-
Yellowbird went viral on the Nürburgring video.
Yeah.
I mean, and magazine tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like every person was exposed to that car.
Yeah. You have to be a pretty big nerd to know what a Kramer K3 is, whereas you don't have to be that big of a nerd to know what a Yellowbird is. I think so,
I agree.
right? Yeah. Aiden Squire says, in the context, I think we already touched on this, but in the context of automotive enthusiasts, what factors might lead the average Ruf customer to opt for one of their custom models, and I presume that means a CTR anniversary, over a standard Porsche 911? Why would someone want a CTR anniversary versus a GT3 or GT3 RS?
Because we go the extra mile when it comes to the attention of detail. A lot of our customers do enjoy that they can spec out their cars from zero, that there's never a no when it comes to their crazy ideas, because we
Sometimes
like to,
there should be a no, just saying.
Yeah, no, but
Do you ever tell anybody, you never tell anybody no?
of course we tell people
You never
no.
listen, this is going to come out ugly.
I give suggestions. But at the end of the day, it's going to be their car.
Yeah.
And I do believe we are such a tailor-made company. Why start bringing at the end of the day, it's just tastes. If you want to have a crazy
Sure.
interior and exterior, go for it. Now, if this impedes
It's
with
got your literal name on the car, though.
True, but if it would alter the performance or safety, absolute no. Absolute no. And then also, why would one pick one of our cars? It's just, again, the drivability of it is so unique and so different. And I know it's very hard to express this without having driven one for others. But it's just, again, the lightness ratio, the analog touch of the car, the in-house developed engine. I mean, it's a completely different story.
It's you only end up there once you've tried like everything else. It's
Yeah.
an end of the road type car.
Or or the beginning of the road, even.
You think so?
It has happened very often that people say, I've never driven a Porsche, I've never driven a 911, they drive a Roof. Then they drive a 911, they're like, oh, we're going back.
How interesting.
Yeah.
It would. I can't imagine how. I mean, I'm sure it can happen, but it's just for someone to never drive a 911 and end up at your door.
Yeah.
It seems unfathomable.
But those
to
are,
me.
you know, Ferrari collectors, Pagani collectors.
Right.
That's a very niche type of person.
Yeah, I bet your customers are some interesting people.
They're wonderful, yeah.
But I was just up yesterday. My friend Jonathan Ward has a company called Icon here in LA. Do you know Icon?
I've heard of Icon, yes.
And they build the best vintage Ford Broncos and Toyota FJ Cruisers on the planet by a lot.
Okay.
And they're really expensive. They're $300,000 to $400,000, and you can do basically anything. But John has a very specific aesthetic, and if he thinks your end product is going to be ugly, he will tell you no. He will straight up say, like, look, this isn't going to be good. Like, and here's some other options that will end up good. So it's interesting because you made a point to say we don't say no.
No, but we do make our suggestions and we do tell them, look, we could go into this direction instead. And very often, people change their minds. Yeah.
Did you ever see that guide that Mercedes put out like 15 years ago? It was really for dealers. It wasn't for the public. And it said, like, which paint colors and interior trims and stuff would end up looking like good, and which ones, when you put them together, would look stupid. It was like a suggestion of like,
I have not seen
get
that.
your customers to like get these and not these because it's going to end up ugly. It was actually a pretty funny chart. And 3 more. Anders says, and maybe you're familiar with this, and maybe is that right? Are there 3 more?
There is, but lots
more.
more.
There's a bunch more.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Well, we will as much time as Aloisa has. What was the process of Ruf (parentheses) and Alpina to achieve manufacture? Sorry for my German status in Germany, and is it economically viable today for an aspiring tuner to achieve that status, even with engineering excellence and significant investment?
So we actually became a manufacturer in 1981 and have our own roof VIN number since.
Yeah.
And what was the process? I can tell you the step-to-step process because
it's very complicated.
It's very complicated.
Which forms do you fill out for me?
God, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was also the other day, I was learning about homologation and certification for the United States. It's a lot of paperwork. But at the end of the day, it's when you create cars from ground up, because what we did or what we do when it comes to those cars, we used to buy body in whites from the Porsche factory and in-house engineer everything else. So the engine, the gearbox, our brakes, we worked together with Brembo. The car was a complete new car except the body. And that made us a manufacturer because we physically was more than a tuner. We rarely took engines that already existed and made them more. We created new engines for those cars, and we still do. And I think that's where it deviates us from the title tuner. It's we're a manufacturer. And I unfortunately can't give any more help with the paperwork.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't visited Ruf. I would like to next time I'm in Germany.
Please
I definitely
do.
would like to come see it. I've been to Alpina though, and considering the volume of cars that they put out, which is pretty low, about 2,000 cars a year globally, the amount of stuff just today, the emissions lab they have, and the testing and the compliance and all this stuff is so far beyond any tuner. I mean, of their campus where they build, like 50% of the campus was emissions testing, and it was just very, very, very challenging to the point where it was like kind of almost not worth it in the modern world. I think in America we now have the ultra low volume manufacturer thing, which allows small volume companies to sell cars in a more cost effective manner than getting their own VIN numbers and doing all that kind of stuff. All-wheel drive bias says, Aloisa, what has been your experience with Ruf and video games?
And these are kind of related, so I just...
whose idea was to
and also
license?
Michael says, whose idea was it to license Ruf to Sony for Gran Turismo when Porsche declined, and how did that come about?
That was my mother.
Was it?
That was all my mother's idea, and Sony did approach us and asked, and there's a great, great Ruf community in Japan, and that's where Sony's based, and we still have a very close relationship. My personal experience is I grew up playing with it as well. I mean, I am also infatuated and tried to get the roof at the end. I mean, it was a literal game changer, as Michael said. And yeah, the process was that we were very close with the Japanese market, and we didn't understand how important that was going to be in the future. It was just, oh yeah, let's have kids learn about roof through
this
video
would be
games.
Fun.
Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a major oversight for Porsche to not be included, to decline that. But it was great for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like to say, when Porsche does well, we do well. When we do well, Porsche does well.
Right.
It's
True.
a synergy. So at the end of the day, Ruf is a brand that will always be associated with Porsche. So whatever we do that is good will also benefit the brand.
I mean, look, in America, the value placed on the Nissan Skyline is directly a result of that car's inclusion in video games and not being available for purchase here. And the fact that it was so dominant in the video game. We used to play Gran Turismo and we race each other and be like, no Skylines, because it was so good. You weren't not allowed to use it. And then when you all of a sudden could buy one and import it, and you drive it and you go, Gran Turismo wasn't exaggerating. This car's crazy fast, And so when someone finally experiences the car in real life and they go, oh, that was not an exaggeration. It's really that crazy. So I think that it's amazing that what a great marketing for your company.
Yeah.
I don't love this question, but I think you can spin it into something, which Derek says, your father built a brand that's become synonymous with performance Porsches. As a driver and enthusiast, what have you done to ensure you aren't covered by your father's shadow? But I think you are embracing your father's role in the world and furthering it.
Exactly. I don't see myself being in any type of shadow. We're hand in hand with my mother. And
which, by the way, you're on the Smoking Tire podcast right now. He's chilling in the lounge.
I know.
He's on vacation. He's over there.
I know.
He could be on the show if he wanted to be on the show. He's not on the show.
Yeah, I know.
He's having a coffee.
Yeah, I don't think it's a shadow. I think it's a dark question. I think it's we both work together for the same goal.
Yeah. Your name's on the car too, by the way. It's not called an Alloy. It's called a Ruf. You got the name also. Sam says, I'll be in Germany next month and wondering, are people welcome to stop by Ruf and have a look around? I promise not to fanboy out too much.
Sam, you can fanboy as much as you like. Please, to everybody, you can come visit us in Pfaffenhausen. This invitation obviously also
buy some
goes
merch.
To both of you. Yes,
buy a t-shirt, buy a jacket.
Buy a car.
Buy a car, yeah.
If you'd like a factory tour, you have to schedule a meeting. Beforehand, you could do this through email or per phone, but we're very open to tours and to have people there.
Get a tour. Chris says, Aloisa, you quoted your grandfather as saying, big money comes from electricity. Our future lies in electricity. Do you see an electric future for Ruf and our new e-roof? Did you just come up with e-roof, Chris?
No, that existed.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, in 2007 we were the first
Did you do an
car
electric one?
Yeah.
Was there an electric? What was it? 911?
An electric 911.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can tell you a little back. Oh.
Must have missed that one. But anyway, yeah. Ruf. Yeah. I mean, anyway.
Do you think it's possible to engineer?
Is it possible to engineer an electric driving experience as exciting and unique as the internal combustion cars?
So I did say big money comes from electricity. Our future lies in electricity, but I was quoting my grandfather. And as a little backstory, my grandfather said this in the 1940s and 50s, post-war Germany.
Sure.
And he didn't mean it in the sense of cars. He meant my family, we have 3 hydroelectric power plants, and all of Ruf is powered by green energy. And we do believe that there is a yin and yang when it comes to being eco-friendly and doing. That's actually not the car. That's a concept photo. Oh. But sorry, that's my train of thought.
No, hydroelectric
power plants, and we do believe that it's important to take care of our nature and to make sure that we can do what we can do for the greater good while still having fun in life with driving fun cars. And we did develop the e-Ruf in 2007, and that was more of a dinner conversation that turned into reality because my father is friends with some of the people from Siemens in Germany. And my father was explaining to him how a hydroelectric power plant works. And my dad just goes, wouldn't it be great if we could put all of the energy from a power plant into our car, like would that even work? This was when Tesla was beginning to develop their cars.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, yeah, that should be possible. And we created 7 e-roofs. They
Wow.
still run. They're fun. Yeah, that's...
Well, how much power do they make? Do
I
you
actually don't know if
Have you driven one before?
Yes, briefly.
Yeah.
Briefly.
How interesting. I had never heard of that before.
Yeah,
And
we were the
that's
first.
pretty
Oh,
neat.
there it is. Yeah,
Which
that's
one? Right.
the white one. The white
That?
one. Yeah.
Oh, it also has the Targa thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really liked that Targa soft window thing that you guys did. That was fun.
Thank you. Yeah,
Neat.
and when it comes to the future of Roof, because that was also part of the question, we also made a... Yeah, sorry. When it comes to the future of Roof, it is important for us and for our audience to know that we are a 90-employee company and that we want to keep it niche and have our engineering that we've been working on since 1939 and to continue that legacy and leave the mobility to the bigger OEMs.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
You guys going electric is not saving the planet.
No,
It's not. You're talking about
exactly.
a small number of cars driven a small number of
30
kilometers
cars
a year. No one's changing anything.
But
with that.
we kind of we always get a kick out of doing things first, if you couldn't tell. So we
that's
did that and played with it, and we
neat.
know we can do it. And
For sure. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I didn't. I learned that existed today.
Yeah.
But let Porsche have the Taycan and
Exactly.
whatever else, and you guys will build cars for people that are looking for something else. And I certainly hope that governments would not force a company of your size to change the direction. That would just be an unbelievable waste of resources for them that would result in no change to the environment at all.
I agree.
Yeah, crazy. Martin Bueno says, dream combination engine gearbox chassis for a Canyon or Swiss Alps car.
Sorry, I was a bit.
And we can't use my car. My 4.5 liter Boxster Spider doesn't count. So you got an engine, a
that's
chassis, and a gearbox for a perfect Canyon car. You've now experienced our Canyons. What would you build?
I think I have to sit on that question a little longer.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. I have to.
These are the last 3.
Oh, is this the last 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait a second. All right, Mr. X has a thick question here. Classics of tomorrow versus yesteryears. What is the timeline for tech to hold up functionally, especially giant LCD screens? I saw a video about the Dark Horse and the engineers geeking out on the new setup. But what are we expecting that to be functional in 50 years? Like we can drive a 1973 Classic now, or example, my Mach-E slow vehicle updates. How will OBD2 cars handle in 50 years? Will there be a mass extinction of cars? I mean, I think that's a problem. These LCD screens are not going to hold up. But I don't think car manufacturers are prioritizing that for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
They want to sell you a car today.
Right.
Which I think is quite sad because, again, having started to work in the restoration department, I believe in the beauty of fixing instead of replacing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to keep the car alive for a very long time is very important, as you could see the Quickblau and all of those things. And when it comes to now going back to being eco-friendly, all these things are doing the exact opposite. If you build boxes of plastic that will live for 10, 15 years, and then you can't drive them anymore.
Yeah. Keeping a car on the road and running well and running as clean as it can run.
And you have one car for 20 years and it runs and you can fix it. It's great.
Yeah, but I can also sympathize with OEMs who are trying to sell a lot of cars to a lot of people, and the tech is how they're doing it. People expect their phones to integrate. People expect cars to be pretty smart, and so maybe not by us, by you and I, but they're under pressure from the masses to build tech-integrated cars, aren't they?
I agree, yeah.
Especially electric cars. How annoying would it be for Ford or Tesla to build an electric car that didn't have screens? You know,
That would
like
make no
analog
sense.
gauges.
That
It would be
make
so weird, wouldn't it? just be really strange.
They wouldn't
So-
fit together.
And it's not like, when they were building cars with carburetors, they weren't future-proofing them for the eventuality of like fuel injection. Like carburetors at the time were the most advanced technology, and then fuel injection came out and made the car obsolete. So like his question of will OBD2 reliant cars, how will they work in 50 years? I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not the OEM's intent to
To
design
know.
technology to know what we're going to use in 50 years. you
Right.
know? I mean, everything will probably be wireless.
And they'll probably find a way to maintain a computer system that will be able to connect to OBD2. Probably, you know.
It seems like they make those standards last quite a long time.
Yeah.
So, but
Dude,
50 years,
96. That's when OBD2 started.
And it's still going.
96.
Yeah.
We were talking. My electric car
Yeah.
is brand new. It's a new car. But it still has OBD2, and that port was not ever designed for the type of data transfer
That you have
that a
now.
modern car needs. So my car needed like a total system update. It's like 5 gigabytes of data. And the car had to be plugged into literally the wall for like 3 days because it
Insane.
was crazy. And it's like, okay, I get it that it just was never developed for that type of data transfer.
Yeah.
So yeah, funny stuff. Was that the last one, Zach?
Yeah, these two are the final,
Oh, excuse me.
if you want to hit them.
Sean says, planning on buying my first Porsche. Budget $45,000, and it will be my 4th car. Leaning towards a 997 Carrera 2S. Is there a better entry point to Porsche at that budget? That's a great entry point to Porsche.
I was going to say, that's a great car.
Great car. But you could also get a great Cayman S for that kind of money, or Boxster S if you wanted.
I'd go for the 997.
You would go for the
I'd
997?
go for the 997.
Yeah, that's a lovely car. And it's a great entry point to Porsche. It's
Yeah.
well made. It'll be fun to drive. It's the right size. Yeah, I agree.
Approved.
Approved. Approved. Yeah. Also, I will. Yeah, that or a great Cayman S would also be
Yeah,
really nice
great
if you want
Cayman.
the mid-engine experience. And
I still
Oh,
don't
we
answer
too much
this
pressure,
question.
Martin. She's bailing out.
Sorry, Martin.
Too much
Maybe
pressure.
Next time.
But maybe you can come back when you put a 3.8 liter engine in your.
Then we
in
start
your
talking.
Boxster. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming in. I'm such a big fan of what your company does, and I'm glad we got to hang out and chat. I will come meet you at the factory next time I'm
Please
in Germany.
do. Please,
I
both of you.
I was like kind of close when I was there with Porsche for Spider RS a couple months ago.
Why didn't you swing by?
Because I was on Porsche's time. I had to
Oh,
drive the Spider
God.
RS, which is a lovely
I
product.
was gonna say life can be so hard.
If I ditched off the Spider RS launch to go be like, I'm going to go to Roof right now,
Oh,
they would have been
God.
pissed. That's
Don't
not-
do that.
That's not what they would have
But make
wanted.
time, and we would love to have you and
I'd love to.
for you to experience our cars and
Yeah, no, I need to have
experience
a
the essence
go.
of what our factory looks like. Both of you,
It'd be
please.
so cool.
And thank you
Yeah.
for having me today.
Of
It's
course.
been a delight.
You can follow Aloisa on her Instagram, and of course, you know where to find Roof Cars. You can just
Yeah,
find it. It's
that's me.
at Aloisa Aloisaruf on the gram, and Roof Cars are rad. They
Thank
continue
you.
to be rad. See you guys next time. Bye.